Welcome to Happy Learning. Now we will see teacher as guide and counselor. What is guidance? Guidance is the process of helping an individual to help himself and to develop his potentiality to the fullest by utilizing the maximum opportunities provided by the environment. So many definitions were given by psychologists. One of the prominent definitions is, guidance is a process of helping young persons learn to adjust to self, to others, and to circumstance. Coming to know about the nature and characteristics of guidance, it is a continuous process. Guidance is a process of development rather than direction. It is goal-oriented. Objectives of guidance are to help individual to understand and to accept the positive and negative aspect of his personality. Provide a wide choice and opportunities. Help in solving social and personal problems. The basic principles of guidance, it is related with all-round development. The principles are human uniqueness, holistic development, cooperation, adjustment, individual needs, etc. The main aims of guidance is to exploring self, to determine values, setting goals, improving efficiency and building relationship. Coming to know about the scope of guidance, it relates to physical health, home problem, personality problems, school or educational problem, occasional problems, and many more social problems. Why we need guidance in school? To help in the total development of the students, to help students choose, prepare, enter upon the progress in their career, to help the exceptional children to tackle emotional problems. The limitations of guidance are, its service are not well organized, lack of personnel and other facilities. Condition of life are too complex for any person to solve the problem. Unqualified guidance personnel may do more harm. Coming to know about counseling. Counseling is a scientific process of assistance extended by an expert in an individual situation to a needy person. Definition related to counseling by Rogers is, it is a series of direct contact with the individual which aim to offer his assistance in changing their attitudes and behavior. The objectives of counseling are to give students information to his success. They establish mutual understanding between student and teacher. They help students to know his interests, abilities, etc. The basic components of counseling is good rapport, communication, understanding, feeling and expressions, planning of counseling interviews. Coming to know about the characteristics of counseling, it is a purposeful learning experience for the counselee. Based on mutual confidence, satisfactory relationship will be established. Main emphasis in the counseling process is on the counseee's self-direction and self-acceptance. Principles of counseling, here it is self-directed mostly. It is a scientific approach. It believes that the client has strength as well as capacity to solve problems. It is voluntary for the students based on democratic values. Significance of counseling. Give information on important matter leading to success. Makes mutual understanding. Help to take steps to solve problems. We can see the benefits. Different benefits are seen. And some differences are there between guidance and counseling. Guidance is broader, counseling is narrow. Guidance is mainly preventive, but counseling is a remedial measure. According to the educational part, guidance can be divided into 3. The teacher needs to know all the 3 guidance facilities. One is educational guidance, occasional guidance, and personal guidance. In that, we can give group guidance also. Educational guidance. It deals with educational problems, giving assistance to individuals related with educational facilities. The main objectives of educational guidance are to assist the pupil to understand his or her potentials, strengths and limitations, to assist the student in making satisfactory progress in various schools and college subjects, to help the child in developing good study habits, and to help the child to participate in and out of classroom educational activities. Need of educational guidance to students. Need of realizing the aim and objective of education. Need of proper educational adjustment. Main aims of educational guidance are contributing to improve the individual's ability to seek and use all type of techniques, what and all available in the society. Process of educational guidance. The process relates with collection of data, diagnosis of the problem, prognosis, rendering guidance and follow-up. The skills related in giving guidance is learning skills, personal knowledge and management skills, interpersonal knowledge and exploration of opportunities, personal management, preparation for transitions and changes. The stages where educational guidance is given is pre-primary school, primary school, middle school, higher secondary school and at universities. Elementary school helps the children to make good beginning, and in secondary schools the students were given guidance to acquaint all type of vocational and normal education. Role of a teacher in educational guidance. The teacher gives assistance to student in education purpose, arrange proper educational environment and make them to achieve their goals. Now we will see vocational guidance. The purpose behind this vocational guidance is to assist the individual to choose an occupation. Other names of this vocational guidance are occupational guidance. The objectives of vocational guidance is to enable students to get relevant information about abilities and skill in terms of related qualifications and identifying occupations, to assist students in getting information about training programs, and to develop entrepreneurship qualities in students. Vocational guidance services are rendered by orientation services, career information services, counseling cells, placement cells, research and evaluation cells. The need of vocational guidance is to understand the problem of unemployment and to make the individual self-employed. The components of vocational guidance: analyzing of an individual, occupational information, consultation, vocational counseling, placement, community occupational surveys and evaluation. Now we will see what is career conference. Career conference is a conference in which information regarding various aspects of different occupation is disseminated to the students. It covers the nature and importance of work, condition of work, minimum qualification necessary for receiving training, and different aspects of training. Organizing a career conference. Duration of conference may be 1 day or more. It will be planned by institutions or by schools. Now coming to personal guidance. Personal guidance is an assistance given to students to solve their emotional problem and to help them control their emotional feelings. Objectives of personal guidance is to help the individual in analyzing and understanding his personal problems, to develop understanding and insight into various life situations, to assist the individual to develop socially desirable goals, to know about individual strengths and limitations. Need for personal guidance. For personal development, for social adjustment, to solve emotional problem, to spend the leisure time fruitfully, and for physical development. Process of personal guidance. The process through collection of data, diagnosis of the problem, prognosis, rendering guidance, and through follow-up. Now we will see group guidance. Group guidance is considered to be an approach aimed at providing helpful personal, educational, or occupational information to groups of individuals. It involves guiding the individuals in group situations. Here the principles of group guidance are: supplement to counseling, principle of homogeneity, principle of expertise, common need problems, and principle of continuity. Scope of group guidances are related to educational plan, related to home and adjustment, related to find jobs. The essential of group guidance is related with good rapport, acceptance of views, careful listening, problem-solving attitude, and through effective solution of solving the problems. The group guidance techniques can be done through assemblies, career conferences, lectures and through talks, occupational surveys, orientation classes, PTA meetings, group visit to work sites, work experiences, or through demonstrations. Advantages of group guidance. Collective and balanced judgment is possible, focuses freedom of expression, and it saves time and gives opportunity to study individual behavior in group situation. Why we need Guidance Bureau in schools. Organizing guidance program in school is to formulate guidance for facilitating the individuals. A guidance committee can be set up to facilitate the students, teachers, and other members of the institution. Organization of Guidance Bureau in schools can be modulated with a psychologist. Stages of organizing Guidance Bureau in school. Constitute the school guidance committee with headmaster as president, the guidance master as secretary, and any 5 class in charge, different subjects in charge, president of PTA and student secretary of different classes as members. A separate room guidance center should be arranged and equipped with cupboards and cabinets. The room can also be used for holding discussion, showing films, or holding parent-teachers meeting. Maintaining cumulative records is must. A school should have effective liaison with agencies like vocational and technical institutions in the area. Specific programs organized by guidance bureaus are Career Corner, Career Talk, Career Conferences, Placement Program, Testing Programs, Film Show based on educational and vocation, Visit to other institutions based on careers, Exhibition for creative works and Diagnostic Program. Role of teacher in guidance. The major task of the teacher is to study of student. Area of guidance work by the teacher is to solve the needs of the problem of the student, to know the maladjustment of the pupil, maximum development of student, acquiring information of student, contact with parents, contact with students, testing, notes, talks, library, fields of students, reporting co-curricular activities. Significance of Guidance Bureau in school. To solve school problems, personal problems, adjustment problems, goal-oriented education, to give proper guidance based on pupils' personality and potentiality, educational according to the need of the students and making them to adjust related with curricular and co-curricular activities. Now we will see the different type of counseling. The different type of counseling are directive, non-directive and eclectic. Here, directive counseling. Directive counseling is counselor-centered. The counselor directs the client to take steps in order to resolve his conflict. Features of directive counseling. During the interview, attention is focused upon the particular problem and possibility of its solutions. The client makes a decision, but the counselor does all that he can to get the counselee make a decision in keeping with his diagnosis. Steps of directive counseling are analysis, synthesis, diagnosis, prognosis, counseling and follow-up. Advantages: it is less time consuming. This method is best, but less matured and less intelligent client interact with an experienced counseling. This is best method at lower level where the client is not in a position to analyze his own problem. Disadvantages are the personal autonomy and integrity of the client is not respected. It will not help the individual to develop any attitude through his own experience. The counselor fails in saving the client to commit the mistake in future. Role of counselor in directive counseling is, he has a major role in this process. He is the leader and he does most of the task. Problem and not individual is the focus. He directs the thinking, he uses the direct explanatory method, he tries to help the counselee in solving his intellectual and not his emotional problem. Now we will see non-directive counseling. It is client-centered process. In this, the counselee is the pivot of the whole counseling process. Steps in non-directive counseling are defining the problematic situation, free expression of feelings, development of insight, classification of positive and negative feelings, transmission of counseling situation. Advantages: it helps the client to attain emotional integrity and helps to reach his full growth. This type of counseling leaves its implications for longer period. Disadvantages: it is usually more time consuming. The counselor's passive attitude might irritate the counselee so that he might hesitate to express the feeling. You can see the differences between direct counseling and non-directive counseling. Now we will see eclectic counseling. Eclectic counseling is a type of counseling which is neither counselor-centered nor client-centered, but a combination of both. Characteristics of eclectic counseling: it is highly flexible, freedom of choice and expression is open to both the counselor and the counselee. Steps in eclectic counseling are diagnosis of the case, analysis of the problem, preparing of tentative plan for modifying factor, securing effective conditioning for counseling, interviewing and stimulating the client, proper handling of any related problem. The limitation of eclectic counseling is: eclecticism is vague, superficial and opportunistic. Now we will see the counseling skills and the quality of a counselor. Counseling skills. Different types of skills are seen. Some of the skills we will work out now. Aquatic skills. Aquatic skills is to make oneself familiar with something. Acquainting involving the skill of building rapport with the counselee who has come with a lot of expectation. Observation skill, it include the body language, eye movement, breathing, etc. Founding skill is attending skills or listening skills or reporting skills. The diagnosis skill is related to formulate hypothesis. Personalized skill go beyond what the client has expressed. Reframing skill. Here, meaningful reframing will be made by the counselor. Initiative skill. Facilitating development related with goals. Lastly, evaluating skills. Ongoing evaluation, client-centered evaluation, skill of self-evaluation. Effective counselor all time have answers to solve the problem, knows the limitations, gives specific counsels, maintain confidence, does not overact, very approachable, and chooses the right setting. Now we will see the counseling process. First step is relationship building. Second step, problem assessment. Third step, goal setting. Fourth step, counseling intervention. And fifth step is evaluation, that is solving the problem. So, the characteristics of an effective counselor is active listener, genuine, friendly, warm, shows acceptance, empathetic understanding, trustworthy, kind and patient. The qualities of a good counselor will be magnetic personality, wide range of interest, personal adjustment, interpersonal relationship, professional competence, leadership, professional dedication, philosophy of life, empathy and confidentiality. Now we will see peer counseling. Peer counseling helps to create a climate in which the client feels accepted, not defensive, and able to talk freely. Rapport in counseling. Rapport refers to a relationship of confidence, trust, and mutual appreciation between the counselor and counselee in the counseling situation. Techniques to establish rapport are sympathy, assurance, approval, humor, personal references, non-personal references. Here, in peer counseling, the role of the counselor is assisting pupils to know themselves, help to accept their attitude, aptitude, and interest, helping them for decision making, determining impact of school programs, assisting their parents for understanding the pupils, and developing the use of community resources. Role of the counselor in guidance program is understanding students, collecting educational and occupational information, conducting interviews, disseminating information, arrange orientation talks, providing counseling, and many more. How to become a good counselor? Be cooperative. Counselor is not a job, it is a process. Qualified counseling psychologists may have many options. When it comes to specialized fields, counseling of life obstacles, and here are some specific types of counselors. School psychologist, marriage and family therapist, mental health counselors, grief counselors, school counselors, substance abuse and behavioral counselors, suicide counselors, addiction and substance abuse counselors, counseling psychologists, mental health counselors, rehabilitation counselors, and domestic violence counselors. These are the different types of counselors we can see in the society. With those people, we can enrich the life. Thank you.